All right. Good. All right, now that we both have planned out what that looks like, why don't you go ahead and tell me what that looks like for you, giving them those 3-step directions, and then I'll tell you what I wrote down, and then we're actually going to do it and practice your favorite. Okay.
So I just took this and I just broke it down into smaller steps.
Okay.
So first I will tell them, when I tap you, go back to your seat at level 0. 2, turn to page blah. 3, I said, if you need help, raise your hand, or if you need help, tap your friend to help you without talking. I wasn't sure. Like either I have them raise their hand and I go help them, or I didn't know if I should just have them tap their friend and then the friend helps.
But you said no talking.
Without talking. So they can like...
So how can you help me without talking?
I mean, they're just turning the page. So there's no talking required.
Okay. So
that's what
tell me your directions again.
So when I tap you, 1, go back to your seat at level 0. 2, turn to page 48. 3, if you need help, raise your hand.
So you're taking out the or.
No, this was just or for me. I don't know if I should say this or this.
Yeah.
Not
which one
them,
do you think which one is more clear to the students?
This one. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you need help. Simple.
Yes.
So what I wrote, because when you say, when I tap you, go back to your seat at level 0. Am I running back to my seat or am I walking back to my seat? Right? So what I said, first you have to prepare students to have their listening ears, right? And so it's like, all right, guys, now that we're done with our we do part of the lesson, before we get into independent practice, I'm getting ready to give you 3 steps you need to take. So listen carefully. Step 1, at level 0, tiptoe back to your seats. Okay? Number 2, complete pages 48 and 49. Number 3, raise your hand if you need help, and I will come to you to check your work. What are we getting ready to do? So now we have to check for understanding, right? And so depending on how you want to check for understanding, whether you want to do that on an individual base with an individual student or a whole group, but if you do an individual student, Emila, what's the first thing we do? We do X, Y, and Z. Emmanuel, what's the second thing we do? Saeed, what's the third thing we do? Excellent. I'm going to clip up you 3 for being such excellent listeners. Now all the students, I should start listening so I can get clipped up. Okay? So now we're going to tiptoe back to our seats. Blah, blah, blah. Or if you do a whole group, class, what's the first thing we do? Then they say it second, third. And so then, because you all were such great listeners, I'm going to give us 2 minutes at the end of the day to watch Brain Pop or something like that, like a whole class incentive or an individual incentive, so that they can know, like, listening has its benefits. Knowing the 3 steps that we have to take when we get back to our seats, that has benefits individual and to the whole class. Okay? So I want you to write down these 3 steps because we're about to practice doing it. I'm going to be Saeed. Or should I be Emila? All right, go ahead and write down these 3 steps, and then we're going to get ready to practice.